Hello and welcome to the latest Lukozer retro game review video, and for this one it is, when it finally shows up, here we go, Karateka. If you are one of these people of the current generation who thinks that Prince of Persia and the newly made Karateka are Jordan Mechner's older games, then you know nothing. This was his first game. This came out in 1984, and this was the first game that was basically designed to be something of a cinematic experience. Whenever you hear people talking about Elite and the fact that it was the first game to not have a score, they are wrong by quite a margin. This was among the first, but there are earlier examples of that. So, yeah, they are, well, not even close to being right. Anyway, so here we have the cinematic opening. That is the warlord that you are going up against in the opening sequences and in the mid-game cinematic cutscenes. His animation doesn't really consist of a great deal. He just points to everywhere. This is the hero that, or not the hero, this is the heroine that you are supposed to be rescuing, the princess, who's now just been locked away. So now we have to wait for. You don't actually have to wait for this whole cutscene. You can skip it when that scrolling, storyline is appearing. Now the game is a multi-loader. It's not a particularly heavy multi-load though, so you're okay. So here we are, and of course the idea is to fight through the various waves of karate bad guys. Now, the controls are actually quite simple. It's the greater than and less than symbols for moving left and right. Space gets you into the fighting stance and out of it again. If you take a hit from anybody and you are not in the fighting stance, that's it. That one hit will take care of you seriously. Now, as far as the actual fighting moves go, it again is fairly basic. You have the medium kick, which I do a hell of a lot. You have a low kick here, and you have the high kick to the head there. And there we go. You also have, in fact, let's just quickly stop. I'll just show you. You also have the punch, medium punch there, the low punch there, and the high punch there. And that's all of your attacking moves, which makes you think that the game is simple. Okay, I guess it is somewhat simple, but it's effective. So he's now sending all of his guards out to stop you as we run through here. You actually have an option. You can run and cover the distance and face the least number of these like bad guys, or you can stay in the fighting stance, which means you move slower, so you'll have to beat more of these, but there's no risk of turning up here not being in the fighting stance in time, because I only just got the I only just managed to do that in time. Now, some of these fights can go on for a long time. Thankfully not up in this level. The first level of fights are pretty simple, largely because they just keep walking towards you. I'm not too thrilled about taking the hit, and now I've gone and taken two. The controls are a bit sluggish. you can continue kicking long after you've stopped pressing that particular button, because it's still accepting the input from when you were holding it down about a second or so ago. So it is, yeah, sometimes a bit slow to respond like it was there. I just about got away with that. So to give you an idea of how sluggish it can be, right, let's wait. Okay, so I'm holding it, hang on. Right, I'll press it now. That's how long it took. I'm still holding it down, but he only attacks in like bouts of 3. Now he'll come forward, I've let go, and okay, in that instance it was actually relatively quick to respond. It's a lot of the time it won't be anything like that fast. Now if I can time this, hopefully this third bloke will be the last one on this level. There's only 3 levels, which may make you think that the game is quite short, but the second level is quite long, the third level is extremely long. But getting off the second level is seriously fucking difficult. And in order to try and avoid, or try and make sure that this review doesn't go on for fucking ages, I am not going to have a stab at getting past a bit that makes level 2 so difficult. It's right at the very end. If you played the game before, I'm sure you know exactly what it is. It became almost infamous for it, getting past the door to take you off of level 2. As soon as you head towards it, it drops down these spikes which impale you and kill you right on the spot. So I do know how to get past it, but it would mean that this game would go on for, or this particular video would potentially go on for a fucking eternity. So I won't be doing that. It looks like I've got over a fourth. Yeah, I've got a fourth bloke here. There's the exit to level 2. None of the like bad guys in level 1 are particularly challenging. Level 2 they get a bit more challenging. Level 3 they do get quite tough. And of course at the very end of it you face the warlord himself. I think it's Akimura or something, I think it's called. Now that I think about it, I think Akimura is a character from Samurai Cop, which is one of those films that has to be seen to be believed. You can't just hang around and wait for them to attack you, even though that's what I've been doing up here, because they do recover energy, as indeed do you. So you need to keep hitting them fairly regularly. I mean, he's down to just 2 hits now. Oh, come on. Right, okay. There, see, he actually managed to regenerate 1 health, but oh, we got through there anyway, so there we go. That's level 1 done. Right, so now we are actually in the complex itself. You can still see Mount Fuji in the background there. Now this is where the fights get a bit more difficult, largely because they keep doing this thing where they hang back and then keep kicking, so you can't get too close to them. And that's when you'll have noticed I keep using the kicks rather than punches, but this is where the punches become handy because they are faster. So when you get moments like that, you can get a fair few hits in. Oh, boss, I completely mistimed that. Well, I got away with it though. I got 2 hits in. Nah, you cunt. Fuck you. There we go. He certainly felt that. Now he's just 1 hit away from going down. So I fucked that up. Now he's back up to 2, so here we go. I've got 1, and that's him down. So this cutscene is awfully similar to the last one, or the last in-game one. It just sends the guards out to try and stop me. So here they come. That's the gates that you need to pass. But before that guard comes along, we have one of these fuckers coming along. One of his eagles. Now if you successfully hit them, they just run off straight away. Or fly off, I should say, straight away. But it's not always easy to hit them. In fact, that's one of the understatements of the year. You've got to time it pretty bloody well to hit those fucking things. Now this game didn't exactly prove to be a huge seller. It became one of those games that had more of a sort of cult following rather than, you know, large mainstream audience. It wasn't until the first Prince of Persia game came along, and again, you console owners, you'll be disappointed to hear that was long before the word PlayStation had entered the vocabulary. The first Prince of Persia game was initially released on the Atari ST and the Amiga, but other console versions then followed. Bollocks, mistimed it again. But with that game, he finally sort of cracked it and got the sort of large following that I guess he was hoping for. I mean, this game never did badly in any reviews. I think he got about 88% in Zap, which isn't too shabby, although when you look at some of the games that did score highly in Zap, you sort of wonder what the fuck this game did to deserve a score below 90. And bearing in mind, Zap 64 gave Bounder, Predator and Ball Blazer. It gave all of those games scores well over 90%. And whilst this game isn't exactly, I mean, it's not the greatest game of all time. It is pretty good. It's certainly way better than any of those fucking things. Fuck off trying to push me back, you cunt. Trouble is, as well as trying to fight this, I'm also trying to have a fag at the same time, so, you know. Oh, fuck off. That's better. Oh, he's down to just 4. Now down to 3. He had regenerated 1. fuck it, too slow to respond with the, I'd stopped punching and press kick. Anyway, we got past that bastard. Getting the stance, Jesus Christ, that was close. So just one hit from him if I was not in a fighting stance, and that's it, it was game over. And then my fag ass is bloody going all over my keyboard again. Oh, I think I fucked that. Well, I could have got a few hits in there, but it wasn't going to let me. Ah, come on. That's it. Oh, Jesus Christ, and then he backs off after one hit. Again, it's very slow to respond. I was kicking, or I had the key press to kick long before he finally actually did. Ah, fucked that up as well. I got one hit on him, 2 hits on him. And I fucked that up as well. And that. This is one of those irritating fights that seem to go on for fucking age. I've got 2, 3, 4 hits on him in total there. He got 1 hit on me, but right, 2. But because I'm still arsing about, so his energy goes up, and some of those hits end up being completely negated. This is where it gets a bit annoying, because you're stuck here for what seems like an age, because the fight just doesn't end. You get the occasional hit on him, then you can't hit him again for ages, so he regenerates all of the health you've taken off him with your hits. In the meantime, he doesn't really do anything, so what hits he scores you then regenerate, and it just carries on like that. Mind you, I've got him down to 2 now. 1, and that's him down at last. We must be quite close to the gate. Yeah, there it is. A very familiar sight amongst Karateka players. We all know what that gate does when you try and get too close. Mind you, the rate I'm going, I'm probably not even going to make it past this fight. I'll walk straight into that one as well. So, on with the review. Graphically, I think it looks fine. Considering this game came out in '84, in fact, yeah, when you consider that, the game is graphically fucking incredible. Sound-wise, it's okay. I mean, the music is sort of Paul Norman-esque. I think that's more to do with the abilities of programming music at the time this came out than anything else. So audibly it's reasonable without being anything remarkable. And gameplay wise, the gameplay is fine, but it is very sluggish to respond to the controls sometimes. It could be better, but that's not to say that, you know, the gameplay is terrible. It's not terrible at all. It's a good game to play. It is enjoyable. I'm surprised that it was, you know, only something of a cult hit. I was expecting it to be a lot more popular than it was. It deserved to be more popular than it was. And of course, it paved the way to Prince of Persia for the Amiga, which in turn paved the way for the fucking god-awful console games, and subsequently that fucking unbearable film. But anyway, this isn't Prince of Persia, this is Karateka, so and I would certainly much rather play this than the console version that came out more recently, which probably says a lot. So I would score it, what would I score it? I would give it 8 out of 10. It's a good game to play. It could be better, so it could benefit from the controls being more responsive. But when you consider that this came out in '84, so '84 brought you, you know, games that look like this. It also brought you Impossible Mission. It just further, you know, makes you wonder how the fuck did games, you know, later on like fucking Karnov and Hard Driving, how did they get away with doing that when this was possible as early as '84? So yeah, for that reason alone, you know, for showing or, you know, proving just how shit a job fucking Karnov and Hard Driving were, this game is worth it. Now, let's see if I can... No, I fucked it up. So that's what happens to most people who try and get through level 2. What you actually have to do is get close enough to the door that if you then do a kick, it will trigger off that the spikes, but they miss you, and then while they're on the way up, you then run through it. So there you go. So that is Karateka for the Commodore 64. 8 out of 10. It's a decent game, worth getting. So that brings this review to an end, and we'll see you at the next one.